Earlier today, Aloft got its first update, and this came less than a week after its early access release, which is quite a quick turnaround for the developers. And honestly, it came at the perfect time because after having put about 20 hours in the game, I made a first impressions video last week where I played it for a couple hours, kind of gave my first impressions of it. And after putting about 20 hours into it, I was going to make almost like a full review video of it. But this update came at the perfect time because a couple of the things that I took issue with have actually been resolved. So what I want to do is quickly go through the patch notes and explain how this update has drastically improved the game already and is hopefully a good sign for the early access development period of this game, because the developers do seem to be listening and taking feedback rather rapidly. So first up, important notes here. We tweaked many islands to fix a couple of issues. Foremost, the issue that prevented an island to be restored because it was asking for too much flora has been fixed. Any world with that issue should now be good to go. I did not experience this. And just for reference, the first time the main save that I had cleared almost 3 entire areas of the map. And when I say areas, I'm not talking about like a cluster of islands. I'm talking about like the giant chunk of a map that has somewhere between like 4 and 5, maybe 6 clusters of islands. I had cleared about 3 of those. We've also pushed a fix for corrupted islands being present without any nodes. This was the main issue I had. I actually reported this, I think the day or two, maybe a day or two after it launched, and then also reported it again. And what happened was it looked like one of the islands, it almost looked like the exact same island or a very similar island. It would say you destroy the corrupted nodes, which were the nodes you used to destroy, and then the little mushroom guys pop out of the ground, and there were just none present. I searched high and low on the islands that had this occur, and it obviously was a known issue. And the fact that they fixed this that quickly is pretty cool. But this will require a new world fix to take effect. Previous worlds will still be valid, but those islands will be condemned to stay corrupted forever. So the only unfortunate thing is this means that if you don't want to have to deal with this on an existing world, you're going to have to start over. So what I ended up doing was I did start over today because I did want to test out some of these things and see if they actually happen. And I'm okay with that because I was not that far into the game, but it's definitely, I'm glad that they changed this right now because this could end up being, I'm assuming this is going to happen almost in like every zone. So there'd be tons of islands where this was going to be happening. And if it happened on an island that had like a knowledge stone or one of the anchors that actually required you to like unlock something, that could end up just being progression breaking. Since we changed the category of multiple items, the game might be a bit confused if you already have them in your inventory. The game will automatically drop an item if it is in the right category. You can pick it up right after and it'll sort accordingly. I believe the reason they did that was to help clean up inventory management, because it would seem like some of the way the inventory works is there's like 4 different tabs. There's weapons, there's food, and then there's like resources, and there was another one. I don't know if it was miscellaneous. And what happened was like some of the tabs would just get completely filled up really quickly while others would be like half empty. So it looks like they're trying to balance it a little bit better. So you're not having to constantly go back and dump your inventory if you're playing solo. If you're playing multiplayer, this probably wouldn't affect you that much. UI, replace the messages of the game saving with an icon in the top right corner. That's just a nice aesthetic change because it's not popping up in the middle of your screen. Upgrade station add-ons appear individually in the build menu. That's good because sometimes there's like a plus sign in the build menus and you won't actually, like, I didn't realize sometimes when there's a plus sign that you can actually, there's other options. Unsaleable zones are pre-revealed on the table map. That's just gonna that's showing you the I guess the entire map. I guess not like all the islands in there, but it's gonna show you the places you're not able to go to. Fix the localization when falling to send an animal home. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I know I would sometimes jump off of my island to another island and just take an animal with me, and usually even if I missed the island, it would just put it on there and I would get credit for it. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is, but I guess cool that they fixed it. Major bug fixes. Darkwood doesn't require bone tools. I don't know what that means because I guess I didn't get to the point of Darkwood. I had on the first save just gotten started to go into the second area, and I only did that because I wanted to push in because I hadn't even cleared the entire first biome, which is quite large. It's probably the largest, I guess, because I think it goes all the way around the map. So I was able to push through the storm area. Has like a asteroid field or something and get inside of there. So I don't know exactly when the Darkwood appears, but I only tried out like one island in there and I didn't get any new wood yet. Islands shouldn't ask for more flora diversity than possible. Okay, because obviously there's only going to be a certain amount that's available. Like if I don't know how many there are, it's like 8 or 9 different floral diversities or floral seeds that you can put down. Multiplayer menu is supported in very wide aspect ratios, cool for people that have wide screens. We identified certain cases that could cause crashes. We pushed a fix that should alleviate the issue. If you still encounter crashes, try setting your visual effects quality to low. I've not had any crashes in this game so far, knock on wood. Minor bug fixes. Hide multiplayer characters during the fresco cinematics. That's pretty cool because the cinematics are pretty well done. Using the hammer is a lot more precise while on moving islands. I never noticed an issue with this. Fix the lag when unlocking the third knowledge stone. That's the wooden walls. Again, I didn't really notice that. Added the warning when releasing non-native insect. I've not done that. I've released insects on, I guess some of these might apply to later on in the game because I released insects in, maybe there's different insects inside of each of the biomes. I don't know. But I always just released whatever insects on the different islands and never had any issues. Pause. A lot of these are just kind of like normal here. Can gather worm or things that are just not like, they don't seem that major. So I'm just going to kind of glaze through these. Can gather worms using the door kip, which is the hoe or the hoe slash spear on islands that already have worms in their ecosystem. This actually did work on the new save that I created today. I was actually digging for treasure and ended up pulling some worms out. So that's pretty cool. Can no longer gather honey on unhealthy islands. I've never gotten honey yet. Can no longer sit on chairs when there's something obscuring. Can no longer grab with our players' animals. I haven't played multiplayer yet. Many island-related modifications and bug fixes. Farming, okay, no longer. So this looks like these are just minor bug fixes. And then small, okay. So the balancing thing down here is, along with the first changes, was the things that I wanted to talk about the most, because these have drastic impacts. One of the main issues I had when I played through the first like 20 or so hours was I found it that unlocking certain things seemed like they occurred way too late. Also, the game is described as being cozy. And while I don't care if the game's cozy or not, honestly, I play lots of survival games that have pretty brutal combat. I think somebody coming into the game on early access launch day might have had a different opinion after you get past like the first or second island that you clear that has the corruption on it, because you can very quickly get overwhelmed and get completely wrecked. So what they've done is they've Shrieker drill damage reduced. These are the enemies that fly up in the air. They shoot some kind of cloud dust and they can just like shoot themselves down at you. The coward throwables damage reduced. These are the little thin guys that will throw sticks at you. They were an absolute pain in the butt, because what would happen is I'm trying to fight some of the mushroom guys, and these guys are off in the distance. I can't even see them while trying to avoid tentacles, and they're throwing their little sticks at me, hitting me for like a third of my health. So I'm actually cool with that. Amount of unhealthy islands reduced. I guess I haven't noticed this yet. On the new save, I've only gone through, I think, like 3 clusters, and I feel like there was like 1 or 2 of the unhealthy islands in each one. So I guess I'll have to play longer to see what's going on with that. I'm actually okay with that too, because to be completely honest, the first 20 hours or so, I was getting to the point where I think I had seen pretty much every combination that you would see on an island, even though all the islands, I was still seeing unique islands, but there were often times where I was like, I've seen this exact island and I have to do the exact same thing. So the fact that they're kind of mixing it up a little bit, definitely good for the variety. Cooking plate is now unlocked alongside the campfire to allow cooking earlier. This is absolutely massive. I actually ran out of food a couple times the first time, because I just literally was only finding berries. That was the main thing I was finding. I found some berries, and I think I found some sugar beets, but it was like I had no food, and I was like, why can I not cook this food and make better food out of it? And fortunately, now the cooking plate, and I can verify this, I booted up the new save as soon as I unlocked the campfire, which was like about an hour into it, I think, maybe less. The cooking plate came along with it, so now you can already make food right at the beginning. That's huge. That's going to give you buffs. It's going to give you way more health and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be much more useful than unlocking it. I don't know. I think I unlocked it like 15 hours into the game the first time through, maybe later than that. The sharpening station and pigment pool are now unlocked earlier. I got both of these, but they were about probably between the 15 and 20 hour mark. So that's definitely gonna be helpful. The pigment pool is just for changing colors, as far as I know. Maybe it's something else later on, but the sharpening station is useful because it'll actually, you can make like your sword or other weapons sharper, which means they'll do more damage, which means you'll kill the mushroom guys and the other enemies in, I think, like, it seemed like half the hits, honestly. Wool and linen threads are now dismantleable. Hanging pot decorations now cost compost instead of soil. I honestly didn't do much of the decorating stuff yet, because I was just kind of trying to focus on unlocking everything. So I know some items have been moved from miscellaneous to resources to prevent full inventories. That's kind of what I mentioned up above. In the miscellaneous category, coffee, sharpstone, sharpbone, windstone gem, and dirty water. This is definitely going to be useful, although I will say, I think what needs to happen is I think the stack sizes need to be increased. Maybe on just certain things, like, and I don't know if there's a reason it's not above like 250. Like, you get 250 stone and 250 wood really quickly if you start dismantling buildings on some of the islands, or if you're just like harvesting a lot. And if you're playing by yourself and you want to clear out like 3 islands in a row, more likely than not, you're going to end up with so many resources on that one tab, like the tab that has the wood and the stone on it, that you might end up having to go back and dump your inventory. But this should help a little bit. Cooking recipe page has now been moved from consumables to miscellaneous to keep the food theme of the consumables. Okay, that makes sense. Wheat has been moved from miscellaneous to consumable to be kept at the same place as the other crops. So overall, I will say, like, this is a absolutely massively positive update for the first update. And I really hope this is a sign of things to come, because this game has a pretty fun gameplay loop, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch more hours into it after this update, see if I find anything else, and then I'll probably end up making a follow-up video, giving my thoughts on whether it's worth playing right now. and I've really been enjoying it so far, but I want to kind of just dive into it a little bit more, unlock some more stuff, get into the second biome a little bit more and see what's going on there, and then just get my final thoughts on it. But anyway, if you found this video informative, make sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing for more content just like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.